Something feels off in Hudson tonight. The air is heavy with tension, and even the horses sense it. A familiar calm has turned into quiet suspicion, the kind that hides behind every smile and lingers in every glance. Someone is keeping a secret, and that secret could tear everything apart. The sun rises slowly over the Heartland ranch, painting the fields in gold, but the warmth doesn't seem to reach everyone. Amy stands by the fence, her hand resting on Spartan's mane, her mind somewhere else entirely. The world she's built with so much love suddenly feels uncertain. Lately, she's noticed small things that don't add up: a missing note, a broken gate that no one admits to, and conversations that stop when she walks into the room. Heartland has always been a place of honesty, of family, but something has changed. Jack watches her from the porch, sensing that same tension. He knows Amy better than anyone, and he can see the storm building inside her. She's been strong through heartbreak, loss, and rebuilding, but suspicion can be heavier than grief. Jack doesn't ask right away. He's learned that sometimes silence helps the truth find its way out. But even he can't ignore the uneasy feeling that's spreading across the ranch. Inside the house, Lou tries to keep everyone grounded. She's focused on the business, the guests, the constant rush of ranch life. But her calm voice cracks when the phone rings, and she quickly excuses herself to take the call in private. When she returns, her smile is forced. Nobody asks questions, but everyone feels the weight of what's unspoken. Tim, on the other hand, pretends nothing's wrong. He's all about action, fixing fences, shouting orders, keeping busy so he doesn't have to look anyone in the eye for too long. But when Amy passes by and their eyes meet, there's a flicker of guilt, a moment too quick to catch unless you're looking for it. And Amy is. The ranch itself seems to mirror the unease of its people. The wind howls louder through the barns, the horses act restless, and even Spartan seems to sense Amy's worries. It's as if Heartland itself is holding its breath, waiting for the truth to step into the light. Later that evening, as the sun sinks behind the hills, Amy walks alone to the old barn. Dust floats through the golden light, and every creak of the wood echoes louder than it should. She finds something tucked away behind a bale of hay, a piece of paper folded neatly, her name written in handwriting she knows but can't place. Her heart pounds as she opens it, eyes scanning the short, shaky message. "Don't trust what you see." She looks around, half expecting someone to be watching. The barn is empty, but she can feel eyes on her. For a moment, the world feels still, almost too still. Then Spartan whinnies from outside, breaking the silence, grounding her back in reality. But the question remains: who left the note, and what do they know? Amy takes a deep breath, folding the note back into her pocket. The fear in her chest turns into determination. If there's something hidden at Heartland, she's going to find it. Because secrets might live in the dark, but Amy Fleming has never been afraid of the light. Night has settled over Heartland, but peace hasn't. The ranch glows faintly under the porch light, casting long shadows that seem to whisper secrets. Amy can't shake the message from her mind. Every word of it feels like a warning, and yet she doesn't know who it's meant for or why it was left for her. She walks back to the house quietly, the folded paper burning in her pocket like a spark waiting to become a fire. Inside, Lou sits at the kitchen table, a cup of coffee untouched in front of her. Papers are spread out everywhere: business plans, invoices, schedules, but she isn't reading them. Her eyes flick up when Amy enters, and for a second, there's relief. Then something shifts. Lou straightens the papers quickly, too quickly, as if hiding something beneath them. Amy doesn't ask. She just nods, grabs a glass of water, and pretends not to notice. But the silence between them is louder than words. Jack breaks it first when he walks in, brushing the dirt off his jacket. He looks at both of them and feels the cold distance that wasn't there before. "You two okay?" he asks slightly, though his tone carries weight. Amy forces a small smile. Lou gives a quick "just tired," and that's the end of it. But Jack isn't convinced. He's lived long enough to know that when people stop talking, that's when trouble starts. Later, Amy sits in her room, holding the note under her lamp. The ink is smudged, but the handwriting looks like someone she knows, familiar yet uncertain. She tries to match it in her mind. Lou, Jack, maybe even Tim. Each possibility brings more confusion. Why would anyone warn her? And what could she not trust? Downstairs, Tim makes a late call from the porch. His voice is low, urgent, and careful. The words are hard to make out. But one thing is clear, he doesn't want anyone hearing this conversation. When he hangs up, he looks out into the night, the same look of guilt flickering in his eyes. The wind carries his sigh into the darkness. The next morning, Heartland looks peaceful again. Horses graze in the field, the sun paints the barn in gold, and life seems normal. But Amy knows it's not. The air feels different, heavier. When she walks toward the stables, she finds Jack already there, fixing a loose board. He looks up and says quietly, "You feel it too, don't you?" She nods, and for the first time admits, "Something's not right here." Jack's eyes soften with concern. "Secrets don't stay buried for long," he says. "They always find a way out." Amy looks around the ranch she loves so much, the place that's held her family through loss and healing, and wonders what truth is waiting to surface this time. She doesn't know it yet, but the message she found is only the beginning of something much bigger. Something that could change everything at Heartland. The morning breaks sharp and cold. The kind of chill that doesn't come from the weather alone. Heartland feels different today. The laughter that usually floats through the ranch is gone, replaced by quiet footsteps and glances that last a second too long. Amy saddles Spartan early, needing the calm of the fields to think. The note still weighs heavy in her jacket pocket. A secret she carries like a stone pressing on her heart. As she rides out toward the west pasture, she spots something strange near the old Corolla truck she doesn't recognize, parked half hidden behind the trees. It's not from town. She slows Spartan, watching as a man climbs out and heads toward the barn. His movements are quick, cautious. Amy's instincts sharpen. She dismounts silently, moving closer, staying behind the fence line. When the man steps into the barn, she finally sees his face and her heart skips. It's someone she thought she'd never see again, Dalton, a name she hasn't spoken in years. He used to work with Ty before everything went wrong. Seeing him here feels like a ghost stepping out of the past. Amy watches as Wade looks around like he's searching for something. She wants to step forward, demand an explanation, but something holds her back. He pulls out his phone, makes a call, and says just one line that chills her. She doesn't know yet. Then he walks deeper into the barn. Amy rushes back to the house, her mind racing. Who doesn't know? What doesn't she know? When she bursts through the door, Lou and Tim are mid-argument. Their voices drop instantly, guilt flashing across their faces. Amy's pulse quickens. "What's going on?" she asks. Lou opens her mouth, but Tim cuts in too fast. "It's nothing. Ranch business." But Amy isn't buying it anymore. "Stop pretending," she snaps. "There's something happening here, and you're all hiding it from me." The room goes still. Lou looks at Tim, then at Jack, who's just stepped in. Jack's face is calm, but his eyes are hard. "Maybe it's time she knows," he says quietly. Tim shakes his head, anger bubbling just beneath the surface. "No, not yet." Amy's patience breaks. "I found a note," she blurts out. "Someone told me not to trust what I see. Now Dalton's here. Tell me what's going on." The silence that follows feels endless. Lou lowers her eyes, Jack sighs heavily, and Tim finally mutters, "It's about Ty." The name hangs in the air like thunder before a storm. Amy feels her chest tighten. "Ty? What about him?" Tim hesitates, then says the words she never expected to hear. "Wade's been asking questions. He thinks Ty was involved in something before he left, something dangerous. And now it's catching up to us." Amy feels the ground shift beneath her. The wind rattles the window panes as the truth begins to surface, sharp and unwelcome. The peace of Heartland, the one thing she's fought to protect, has started to crack. And somewhere out there, Wade isn't finished yet. The storm doesn't come with thunder. It arrives in silence. A stillness spreads over Heartland, the kind that makes every sound louder, every truth heavier. Amy stands outside the barn, her breath visible in the morning air, staring at Wade's empty truck. He's gone, but the damage he brought lingers. Inside, her family waits, faces drawn and pale under the dim light. What once was trust now feels fragile, ready to break with one wrong word. Amy steps in, her boots echoing on the wooden floor. "No more secrets," she says quietly, but there's steel in her voice. I want to know everything. Jack nods slowly, his hands folded on the table. It started months ago, he begins. Wade came around asking about Ty's old clinic files. Claimed someone was looking for them. Said Ty might have uncovered something he shouldn't have. His voice trembles slightly, rare for Jack Bartlett. I told him to leave it alone, but he wouldn't. Amy's heartbeat quickens. So that's what the note meant, she murmurs. Someone's trying to cover up what Ty found. Lou looks at her sister, tears shining in her eyes. We didn't want to scare you, Amy. You've already been through enough. But Amy shakes her head. You don't get to protect me with lies. Her voice cracks, but the anger holds. Heartland is supposed to be where the truth lives. You should have trusted me. For a long moment, no one speaks. The air between them feels heavy, full of regret. Then the front door opens, and footsteps echo. Wade steps back inside, holding a worn leather folder. He looks at Amy, then at the others. I didn't come to cause trouble, he says. But Ty's work what he was doing before someone didn't want it seen. I think he found something connected to the land. Maybe the water rights deal from years ago. That's why I came back. I thought you deserved to know. Amy takes the folder, her hands trembling slightly as she opens it. Inside are papers, maps, handwritten notes, and a letter addressed to her. Her breath catches as she reads Ty's familiar handwriting. If you're reading this, it means I got too close. Protect Heartland, Amy, and trust your heart. Not what people tell you. Her eyes fill with tears. Every memory of him floods back, his laugh, his quiet strength, his belief that truth always mattered. She closes the folder, holding it close to her chest. Outside, the wind picks up, carrying the scent of rain and the promise of change. Jack puts a hand on her shoulder. He was still looking out for you, he says softly. Amy nods. He always was. As the first drops of rain begin to fall, Amy walks out onto the porch. The world feels lighter now, even with the pain. The truth has come out, and though it hurts, it's real. She looks toward the horizon where the fields stretch endlessly and whispers, "We'll keep it safe, Ty. I promise." The camera pans out slowly, capturing the ranch bathed in soft rain and morning light. The same land that has carried their joy, their grief, and their healing. Heartland endures, just as it always has. Because even when trust breaks, love rebuilds it one truth at a time. Fade to black. Heartland Season 19 Episode 5 Suspicious Mind, coming soon on CBC. Morning dawns softer than before. The storm has passed, leaving the ranch washed clean, but peace still feels uncertain. The puddles reflect the wide Alberta sky, and the barns stand tall against the fading mist. Heartland has always been a place of healing, but healing only comes after the truth has been faced. Amy sits on the porch steps, the leather folder resting beside her. The papers inside are no longer just evidence, they're memories, fragments of Ty's heart and purpose. She can almost hear his voice again, calm and certain, reminding her that doing the right thing is never easy, but always worth it. The words from his letter echo in her mind. Trust your heart, not what people tell you. Lou joins her quietly, 2 mugs of coffee in hand. For a moment, they don't speak. The silence between them isn't heavy anymore. It's peaceful. The kind that comes after everything has been said. Lou finally sighs. I should have told you the truth sooner. Amy smiles faintly, her eyes still fixed on the horizon. You were just trying to protect me. But you can't protect someone from who they are. I needed to know. Down in the stables, Jack tends to Spartan, his movements slow and thoughtful. He's seen the ranch through fire, drought, and heartbreak, but this one feels different. This time, the threat wasn't from outside forces, but from the walls within. He glances out the open door and sees Amy and Lou together, the side easing something deep inside him. The family may bend, but they don't break. Tim pulls up in his truck, steps out, and walks toward the porch. His voice is low when he speaks. Wade's gone. Said he's done stirring things up. Amy nods, her gaze steady. He gave us answers even if they hurt. That's more than most would do. Jack joins them, leaning on his cane. Ty's work meant something, he says firmly. Now it's up to us to protect what he believed in. The ranch, the land, the truth. His eyes meet Amy's, full of pride and understanding. You've got his strength, Amy. Don't ever forget that. The camera pans out slowly, following Amy as she walks toward the fields. The wind lifts her hair, and the golden light breaks through the clouds. The world feels alive again. The horses run free, their hooves pounding against the earth like the heartbeat of Heartland itself. Amy stops by the fence, watching them. A soft smile touches her lips. You'd like this morning, Ty, she whispers. Everything's still standing. She closes her eyes for a moment, letting the breeze brush across her face, and when she opens them, the ranch feels new again. Not untouched, but stronger. The camera lingers on the distant hills as the soft theme music rises. The words appear slowly on screen. Every secret leaves an echo. But in Heartland, truth always finds its voice. The sky over Heartland glows with the soft light of dawn, the kind that feels like a new beginning. Dew clings to the grass, and the smell of rain still lingers in the air. Everything looks familiar, yet something in the air has shifted. The storm may have passed, but its lessons remain etched into the land, the people, and the quiet rhythm of their hearts. Amy steps into the paddock, her boots sinking into the damp earth. Spartan greets her with a low nicker, brushing his nose against her shoulder. There's comfort in his steadiness, in the way he trusts her without question. She strokes his mane, whispering softly, "We're okay now." But deep inside, she knows the journey isn't over. Truth has a way of leaving ripples that never fully fade. Lou watches from the porch, a blanket draped around her shoulders. She's tired, but lighter than she's felt in weeks. For the first time, there's no need to hide. No secret pulling her apart from her sister. Jack sits nearby, reading an old letter from Ty's folder. His weathered hands hold the paper carefully, as if it were something sacred. When he finishes, he folds it gently and says, "He wanted us to keep fighting for this place, for each other." Tim stands a few feet away, hands in his pockets, looking out at the ranch that's seen him at his best and worst. "We've made mistakes," he admits, "but maybe that's what family's about, breaking and fixing, again and again." His voice is rough, but honest. Amy looks at them all, her heart full and aching. "Heartland's not just a ranch," she says softly. "It's who we are. Every fight, every truth, every moment, it's all part of us." The camera follows her as she walks toward the open field, the wind gently pulling at her hair. The sky begins to brighten, the first real light of morning spilling across the land. Horses run along the ridge, their silhouettes glowing against the rising sun. The sound of their hooves mixes with the faint echo of music, the kind that feels both hopeful and haunting. Amy pauses, looking back at the ranch one last time before turning toward the horizon. Her expression is calm now, but her eyes carry strength, the kind that only comes after facing what hurts most. In that still moment, Heartland breathes again. The fences stand tall, the barns glisten with morning dew, and the family inside begins to move forward, wiser, closer, unbroken. A soft voice echoes as the camera pulls away. In a world full of doubt, trust is the hardest thing to hold on to. But here, on this land, we learn to believe again. The screen fades slowly to black. The words appear. Heartland Season 19, Episode 5, Suspicious Mind, coming soon, only on CBC. Then, one final whisper before the music fades. Every ending is just the start of another story. The screen opens on a calm horizon. The sun is setting now, not in sadness, but in peace. The golden light stretches over the fields, touching every fence post, every leaf, every quiet corner of Heartland. The storm of secrets, guilt, and fear has passed, but what remains is something deeper: understanding. Amy stands by the paddock, watching Spartan graze beneath the fading sky. The note that once filled her with worry now sits folded in her pocket, worn from her hands but no longer heavy. The mystery has ended, but its meaning will stay with her forever. Heartland has survived another storm, and so has she. Inside the house, laughter drifts through the air. Lou sets the table for dinner, Jack hums an old tune, and Tim tells a story that earns him a playful eye roll from both sisters. The warmth feels real again, not forced. It's the kind of peace that only comes when everything broken has been faced and slowly mended. Amy looks through the window and smiles. She remembers Ty not with tears, but with gratitude. Every lesson he left behind, every truth he uncovered, led her to this moment. His spirit lives here, in the horses that run free, in the family that stands strong, and in the land that never stops giving second chances. As twilight deepens, Amy walks toward the old oak by the pasture, the same tree where she and Ty carved their initials long ago. She runs her fingers over the faded marks, barely visible now, but still they're like the love that time could never erase. She whispers, "We did it. You'd be proud of us." The wind moves softly through the branches, carrying her words into the open sky. For a moment, it feels like a response, a quiet promise that he's still watching. She turns back toward the house, where the lights glow warm and steady against the darkening sky. The camera pans wide, capturing the ranch in its full beauty, alive, whole, and strong. The fields shimmer under the last light, and the world seems to exhale, at peace once more.